Welcome to lesson 3 of our free training. Today we're talking about goal strategies, how to increase your chances of success by 76%. And we're going to cite some very, very compelling research that supports this strategy. In 2015, psychology professor Dr. Gail Matthews from the Dominican University conducted a study that provides empirical evidence for the effectiveness of goal setting. Importantly, Dr. Matthews' study revealed that rather than simply writing goals down, subjects who achieved the best results followed a specific model, which included a goal strategy and enlisting other people for accountability. The goal strategy raised the chances of success by a staggering 76%. In summary, the key to success is to get clarity on your goal, create a goal strategy, then enlist other people for accountability. Which is why we created our 5-step accountability system for our UMS, all of our UMS programs, including the 28-day kickstart, the 12-week peak performance, and our 12-month transformation programs. A goal strategy, accountability call, the coaching groups, group coaching calls, and done-for-you workouts. One of the key aspects of our accountability call is to walk you step by step through the process of creating your goal strategy. Your goal strategy is essentially your goal linked to why that is important, broken into tangible milestones. You'll start by setting your big training goal, which is what you want to achieve in the next 12 months. Then you'll drill down on why that goal is so important to you. This is a critical step that most people overlook in creating your strategy, because it is not your goal that keeps you motivated, it's your why. Lastly, you will break your goal down into bite-sized pieces we refer to as milestones at Unity Gym. Then it's just a matter of getting laser focused on that first milestone to get your first win. Remember Dr. Gail Matthews' study on the effectiveness of goal setting. The key to success isn't setting goals themselves. It's the strategy that includes all of the above, plus enlisting an accountability team that increase the chances of success by a whopping 76%. And today we are going to walk you step by step through what that looks like here at Unity Gym by revealing our goal strategy. And we'll get Richie to bring up the actual goal strategy worksheet on the screen in a moment, and we'll walk you through that. First of all, quick welcome to Rad across the table from me, my brother and business partner, and of course we've got Richie behind the mixer. We're pretty excited about this because this is one of the key elements of our system here, our accountability system, and it's something that I think a lot of people get wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that a lot of people get wrong. The way that you start absolutely impacts the way that you finish. And that's what this whole course is about. It's about getting started the right way. And today we're going to be talking about our 28-day kickstart program, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We should say that up front. Get permission from our listeners first. We are going to give you guys an offer, an opportunity to work with us at the end of this lesson today. And I think we should start by recapping what we've discussed in lesson 1 and 2. Lesson 1, if you guys recall, was all about the concept of starting strong. And we revealed some really, really compelling research. I've still got the research paper next to me on the table here that was done by the CSIRO. And it was all about how people were getting 3.5 times more fat loss and maintaining it better when they started strong on the CSIRO Total Wellbeing Diet Intervention. Now, we also spoke about the importance of combining a diet intervention with an exercise intervention because basically the body doesn't discriminate in eliminating tissue, unneeded, unnecessary tissue. When you're in calorie deficit, if you're not stimulating muscle and if you're not eating enough dietary protein, then you tend to lose muscle mass
and fat mass at a 1-to-1 ratio.
That's right. And so we're
which is disastrous. If you lose 20 pounds and 10 pounds of that comes from muscle and 10 pounds from fat, you're going to rebound big time. But unfortunately, when you rebound, you don't put muscle back on, you just put fat back on. Your body just tries to get it back to the weight that it was. And we're really dumbing that down a little bit, but in a nutshell, that's how it works. If you just lose weight by just dieting and doing cardio, you're going to have a disastrous response. And most people can relate to that. Anybody that has gone on these yo-yo dieting where they lose weight and then put it back on, this is why.
Yeah, your muscle is the metabolic tissue in the body. and it requires a lot of energy to survive. And so when you deplete or reduce muscle tissue, other than a myriad of different negative impacts on the health, from frailty to loss of strength and coordination to hormonal imbalances, it is very, very important that you prioritize the maintenance of your strength and lean muscle tissue over your lifetime. So we won't go too deep into that. That was
well, we're going to talk about how you do that at the end of this lesson.
Absolutely.
We're going to tell you guys exactly how we do that, and show you how you can lose fat and maintain and maybe even potentially build muscle at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll also talk about why we created the 28-day Kickstart program that we're very excited about. Lesson 2 was all about the concept of identifying your first win and why that's important. Identifying your first win so that you can achieve something in a very, very short amount of time, which will ignite your motivation and give you the momentum needed to get all the way to your goals. And I really love the quote in The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey, where he talks about the concept of creating a new habit or making a big change in your life is similar to launching a rocket to the moon. The majority of energy and fuel is spent getting you off the ground, but once you're in space, despite the sheer distance you still have to travel to get to the moon, it takes very little effort because you're already in motion. Once you're in motion, things come much easier. And I wrote a lot about this in this week's series of emails. It takes very little momentum to achieve your goals. It takes a lot of effort in the beginning. And that's what lesson 2 was about. If you want to, if you missed it, go back and circle back and rewatch lesson 2. Lesson 3 is about that goal strategy. This is where the rubber meets the road, metaphorically speaking. So Richie, why don't we bring up the PDF and we will walk you through. This is a very simple little exercise that we've been using for years and years and years with new tribe members, especially for members who need to lose a little bit of fat, which is something that we don't sort of. I don't know if you'd say we specialize at Unity Gym. We're certainly not a fat loss gym. We're more of a performance-driven gym. But because we teach a lot of calisthenics and we have such a radical lifestyle intervention, people just tend to lean up as a natural side effect to that.
I'm going to go a little bit deeper than that. We used to be a fat loss gym, and we used to specialize in fat loss, and we're very good at it. It's just that we have been in the industry for about 17 years that, truth be told, we got to a point where we just wanted to evolve the way that we train people. But this stuff has been tried and tested for decades with us, and we are up to date with current research. And these methods are tried and tested. They work very, very well. Yeah.
So Richie, maybe as I explain each of the steps here, you could maybe highlight it with your cursor. So first and foremost, you'll see up the top there, step 1, define your 12-month goal. Now, Rad, Richard and I tend to work, like for business, I work 10 years in advance and we do 12-month planning, but we also have a 10-year vision. And I like to think like that big, like broad, shoot for the stars, and at least if you fall short, you'll still hit the moon type philosophy. But with our clients here, we like to get them thinking in 12-month blocks. Like, what would you like to achieve in 12 months? Where do you see yourself in 12 months? 12 months is enough time that you can make a massive transformation. And that's why our UMS, our flagship program, is our UMS 12-month transformation program. And it's a beast of a program, But to get started, that's, a lot of people make the mistake of sort of trying to leap for the summit in step 1. And that's where a lot of people fall short. That's why we talk about how it's so important to chunk your goals down and identify that first win that you can achieve in 3 to 4 weeks. We like to say 28 days. So, but we still start by identifying that 12-month goal. What would you like to achieve in the next 12 months with your physique, with your movement capabilities and skills? And really go deep on that. If you need more than 3 lines, then write a page, as descriptive as you can possibly be. That's better. Step 2 is to link your goal to a burning desire. And we do this by doing the 5 whys exercise that was actually originally created by one of the chief engineers at Toyota in Japan. And the reason why they created this was because they wanted to be able to identify why something went wrong in the manufacturing line rather than just fix the problem. On a superficial level, because they knew from a productivity standpoint that if they didn't fix the deep down root cause of the issue, then the problem would just keep repeating itself throughout the factory line. And Toyota were phenomenal at creating an incredibly productive assembly line with their cars. And so the 5 whys exercise can be applied to any area of your life, and I love it. It's really, really good. And essentially it is, you ask yourself, why is your goal important to you? And then you ask yourself why that is important to you, and you repeat that process 4 more times or 3 more times until you get down to something that is deeply rooted or associated to social psychological behavior. And it is often something that challenges you a little bit. It makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable, There used to be, one of my coaches once said to me, if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not your true why. And I don't know whether that's 100% accurate and true, but it certainly should evoke emotion, and it should make you a little bit uncomfortable, I don't know if you want to share, you've done this exercise before, Rad. Do you want to share your why?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I haven't actually done it for a little while, but the idea is for me that my training, when I do my training, I train because I want to do, I want to be able to do calisthenics and move really well. I want to be a really good mover. And so then you say, well, why do you want to be a really good mover? And then you say, well, it's always just inspired me to want to be good at movement, and I never really cared about the physique. I always aspired to be a good mover. So then it's, well, why did you aspire to be a good mover? And then you go deeper than that and you think, well, when I was a kid, I always used to look up to people like Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan and Jet Li. So I guess I always just wanted to be like them. And then it's, well, why is it important to want to be like them? And so you're starting to get really deep now, and you have to start thinking, well, it aligns with my intrinsic feeling to want to be recognized and to want to be seen as somebody that's achieved something. And then you go deeper than that. Well, why is that important to you? And the idea is that you just keep going like that until you get to the point where you can't go further. And it's, it goes deeper than what I've just said there, and it becomes, and once you get deep enough, you become really clear on why it is that you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And for me, it's been a massive part of motivation. It's what keeps you going.
Most of the time, and most of the time that I've done this exercise with a tribe member, and that I've been doing this a similar version of this for almost 18 years now. It is very confronting for people. It's because it challenges their ego. It challenges, and most people don't want to admit that it's about how they present to other people. It's about how they're accepted or viewed in their social herd or community, or it's about it's often about something that's a bit taboo. And
I can't remember where I read it, but there was a book that we've read on human psychology. We've read so many of them, but it was talking about how when you really boil it down, there's only 3 reasons why humans do anything, and it all relates to herd mentality. And there was only one of them and I can't remember what it was, that didn't directly relate to what other people think of you. One of the reasons why we do anything is to be accepted by our herd, so basically to be socially accepted. The second reason was to be recognized or something like that. I know that those are similar things, but they both aligned directly with how you're perceived by the herd, by humanity, by society. And there was only one of them that wasn't directly related to that, but it's still it was still tied in with the herd, with humanity.
It's all about social psychology, and it's really okay to embrace this. It's actually really important. It's really important to find what is your intrinsic motivator. What is going to get, because here's the thing, it's not your goal that's going to get you up out of bed at 5 a.m. when it's pouring with rain in the middle of winter and cold to get to the gym to do your workout. The goal of losing 15 pounds or gaining 10 pounds of lean muscle or whatever, that superficial goal, that'll only get you so far. It's why that goal is so important to you that you need to put in the front of your mind every single day, you know, and for me, it's about the legacy I leave. It's about changing the financial blueprint that we've had in our family, so my children have opportunities that we didn't have when we were kids. And it's about achieving time, location, and financial freedom for our team and tribe, you know, and families. And that, you know, when I get really, really clear on that, everything I do, all the decisions I make, I can align with that, and I know that I'm sort of living my purpose and moving towards my mission and things like that. And I'm not afraid to say that, you know, I'm not afraid to admit that a lot of what I do is driven by that legacy that I'm working towards, you know, and getting really clear on that. And exercise for me is a tool to keep me operating at the level I need to achieve my goal. It's not about, for me, it's not so much about like achieving a certain physique. It's about a process that I know now after 41 years of being alive is required to keep me operating at optimum levels. It keeps me confident, it keeps me healthy, it keeps me focused, it keeps me driven, it keeps me energetic, you know, and that's a really important component. I'm going to share more of that.
I've actually found what I was looking for. The three reasons why humans are motivated to do things are, at the most grassroots level, to seek pleasure and avoid pain is one reason why we're motivated to do anything. A second reason why we're motivated is to seek hope and avoid fear. And then a third reason why we're motivated is to seek social acceptance and avoid rejection. So I was wrong when I said that two of them align with social acceptance. But for me, when I drill down deep enough, it is absolutely to seek social acceptance. Yeah. And that's something that is actually really hard for a lot of people to come to grips with. It was hard for me to come to grips with because, you know, a lot of people would call that really vain. But the truth is, it's something that is built into us. Social acceptance is, and it's all in our
DNA.
Yeah, and we all are motivated by all three of those things at all times. Like there are times where we're motivated by pleasure. We just want to feel like alcohol. The only reason why you drink alcohol really is for that top one, to seek pleasure and avoid pain. You know, it's that numbing effect. And, you know, religion, you could say, is vastly driven by that, to seek hope and avoid fear. Yeah. But once you get down deep enough and you become really clear on why it is that you're wanting to exercise, that's what we're really talking about here. And for me, when I came to this realization, and it really made sense why I've always been driven to succeed with movement and stand out more than other people do, because it motivates me. It motivates me to have that level of social acceptance. And you can relate this. For me, I get that through movement skill, through the expression of, you know, calisthenics and what I can do with my body. For other people, it's at a much earlier level, which is that they want to look and feel good. They want that social acceptance where they have lost fat and they look good in a bikini. And you and I definitely go through those phases where, and this is what this whole 28-day kickstart program is about, where we recognize that for a lot of people, that first win is to get that feeling of, you know, I've achieved something with my body and I can feel good about myself and go out and be confident. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. So before we move on, step 2, link your goal to your burning desire. Drill down, do the 5 whys exercise. It might take you more than 5, and we want to arrive at one of these 3 things essentially. You want to read those out again, please, Rad?
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully you can go deep enough with your why that you can recognize that the reason why you're doing this is to seek pleasure and avoid pain, or to seek hope and avoid fear, or to seek social acceptance and avoid rejection. And in all honesty, it took Yanni and me a lot of times doing this exercise before we could get that deep.
Yeah,
it took us a lot of time.
Absolutely. Okay, so the final step, and this is the most important. They're all very important, but I believe this is the most important, because if you don't get this right, the chances of actually succeeding and getting to that 12-month goal is very, very low, unfortunately. That's just statistically speaking. Step 3 is to identify your first milestone. So essentially what we want to do now is chunk your goal down into bite-sized pieces and find the first piece that you can achieve very quickly. It needs to be achievable in the first 28 days, 4 weeks. And this is where it sometimes requires a little bit of help from a coach, from someone who's done this successfully before or done this successfully with lots and lots of people before, guided them through the process, because identifying an achievable, tangible win that you can tick off, that you can knock over in that first 28-day period does take a little bit of experience, right?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
And it really does depend on, where you're starting from, what your current experience is, what your, with exercise, what your history is. Are you injured? Are you starting from less than, lower than base level, which I would say if you're currently sporting an injury and we need to deal with that, then that might be the first win, the first goal, and most commonly for people, it's going to be to lose 5 pounds or to gain a couple of kilos of or pounds of muscle. It might be for like a lot of the time for someone who's coming from a really, really poor start, where they haven't been doing much with their health, then we like to create a process-focused win, which might be to finish a 28-day program, to turn up to the gym a certain amount of times, to get a certain amount of workouts in, to start preparing your own food, to learn how to cook a series of meals that are going to be really healthy, that are going to support your 12-month goal. Look for things that are absolutely achievable in 28 days and look for something that is tangible. It has to be something that you can measure, that you can confidently say at the end of that 28 days, yes, I achieved that. Because it's that win that's going to ignite your motivation and get you to the next win, and then the next, and then the next. And it's not the one goal that you're going to achieve in 12 months. It's that goal will be an accumulation of all these little wins along the way that get you there. And that's the essence, essentially, of what we call a goal strategy at Unity Gym. It's that simple. Did that seem simple? I don't know. It's simple for us because we've done it a lot.
Yeah, if you rewatch it and if you put pen to paper, then it does start to make sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So should we move on to how we get that first win?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Richie, very quickly, can I get a time check? Where are we at?
We're at 25 minutes.
25 minutes. All right. I'm just conscious of the time. I don't want you guys to be doing huge, long lessons here. So, this is the pitch. The UMS 28-day Kickstart program we've launched, which we're very, very proud of, because it is essentially just a blueprint of everything that we've been talking about over these 3 lessons, and it is a great program. It's going to change a lot of lives. It's something that I'm actually embarking on myself personally, and I'll share a very personal story because I think it builds context around why we created this program, and I think it's important. I think it's important that people understand that. The reason, there's many reasons why people want to exercise or transform their body. Your reasons are probably totally different to mine. I personally exercise because I battle depression and anxiety, and it helps keep me sane. But that said, I also appreciate the many health benefits and the badass physique you only get from regular, intense exercise. I definitely draw on my physique for strength and confidence in my everyday life. It helps me show up for my 2 boys. It helps me deliver value in the workplace and motivate my team and tribe, you guys. I think most people will agree that one good reason to exercise is to build confidence, which is why we have created our new 28-day Kickstart program. True story, the 2020 and 2021 years were 2 of the hardest years in my life. The COVID-19 health pandemic crippled our retail business, Unity Gym North Sydney. During all that craziness, my relationship broke down after after my partner and mother to my children left. Following this, we had a brother pass away in the family, and the final blow is letting go of the retail gym here in North Sydney as we transition into an online-only business. Throughout this series of events, I struggled to find motivation to exercise. I started drinking as a result, and my physical and mental health took a massive nosedive. I'm sure some of you guys can relate to this sort of lifestyle stress. Midway through 2021, I was put on a mental health plan and started taking antidepressants. Once the dust settled in November, now where we are, 2021, I really needed to kickstart my own health, and I sort of went back to the drawing board to think about how I could regain my motivation to get stuck into my training, my diet, all of that stuff again. The thing with body transformations, or any transformation, whether it be financial or health related, is that all it takes is a mindset shift and a little momentum in the right direction. You will be very surprised how little momentum it takes to make huge results and achieve huge goals in your life. The hardest part is always getting started. I like how Stephen Covey said it, and I said this earlier in the show, in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Starting a new habit is like launching a rocket to the moon. The majority of effort is used to get you off the ground, but once you're in space, despite the distance, it takes very little effort to actually get there. The secret is starting strong, which we spoke about in lesson 1. You need to launch into your goals like a rocket. You need to identify a few small wins that can guarantee you success. Although small, when achieved early on, they will give you the momentum that will keep hurtling you towards the moon, your goal. At this point in my life, I need a program that will boost my confidence and give me some momentum. To do so, I knew that there were 3 specific conditions that were needed to be met. I need a well-planned program so it's super easy to follow. I need to produce a quick win to boost my motivation, and I need to deliver guaranteed results to avoid time wasted. None of us are here to waste our time. In order to tick all 3 boxes, the program needs to have all bases covered, including a nutrition intervention that promotes better fat burning and optimal health, resistance training to boost strength, muscle growth, and metabolic function. That's what we were talking about earlier. Flexibility training and myofascial release to enhance mobility and recovery. Aerobic and anaerobic cardio exercise to boost endorphins and fat burning. And we needed to have both a gym and home training option to remove all possible excuses. With these 5 elements taken care of, all bases are covered. Make no mistake, although this is a beginner program designed to kickstart my training and give me the momentum needed to launch my transformation and get me to the moon, metaphorically speaking, this will be a radical lifestyle intervention, even for me. I know that if I follow this program, I will see great results in 28 days, but it won't be easy. I will be doing some form of exercise every day for 28 days straight. But even the active recovery workouts on Tuesday and Thursday are light mobility routines, but it's still exercise. And although gentle, even the fat burner workouts that I'm going to be doing on Saturday and Sunday are nice and easy and designed to not interfere with the strength training workouts. It's still exercise. But trust me, when I finish, I will feel fantastic, and most importantly, we'll have achieved something very powerful, more confidence and forward momentum. And from here, I know that anything is possible, and the same is for you. That's why we created this new program, and that's what this new program's all about. Now, I'm ready to go. The question is, who's coming with me?
And look, if you want to know what it looks like, we're drawing on decades of experience training people for fat loss very effectively. But we're also combining it with the magic of the UMS, which is that every workout tackles strength, flexibility, and fitness in less than an hour. And so, how do you do it? How do you make it work? If you want that first win with a 28-day kickstart, then you really need to feel that something's happened. You need to get through that 28 days and feel like, wow, okay, there's something going on here. So what we've focused on with the 28-day Kickstart program is that the big win is to make a change in your body, to lose some fat, get you in shape, and make you feel like you're making progress, but whilst still balancing strength, flexibility, and fitness training, which means you are going to be stronger, you're going to be fitter, and you're going to be more flexible at the rest of the 28 days. But the UMS program we don't have a focus on fat loss. With the 28-day kickstart program, we do. So you're going to really get that first big win. And the way we do that, the way it differs from our regular UMS training is that each workout is an all-over body. So each resistance training, there's only 3 resistance training sessions in a week. And each of them is an all-over body workout. We don't do upper body days and lower body days. So we do upper body and lower body strength, and we do flexibility as well mixed in with that. And we also do cardiovascular fitness. 2 of those sessions have a HIIT circuit at the end of it, so a very high-intensity interval training session. That only goes for 16
minutes. So we're getting
minutes.
the anaerobic cardiovascular system stimulated.
That's right.
And exercised.
That's right. And as opposed to the aerobic cardiovascular system, which is done on 2 cardio days. We'll get to that in a sec. And those resistance, flexibility, and HIIT sessions, 3 days a week. They're done on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, which aligns perfectly with the way that our bodies can only really train in a sustainable way, which is we have a high-intensity day followed by a low-intensity day. So Monday is a high-intensity day where we do resistance training, flexibility, and a HIIT circuit. And then Tuesday, we do a much lower intensity mobility recovery workout. That only goes for 25 minutes. It's all follow along routine. So you just press play with the video and you join in with us in real time. It's a 24-minute mobility recovery routine that makes you feel really good. The idea is that it massages your body with foam rolling and trigger point release, and it's also some gentle mobility. So it makes you like that feeling that you feel after a hard day of training where you wake up and you're stiff and sore. It gets rid of that.
Yeah.
But it also gets you moving, so you're burning some calories and you're not just sitting on the couch.
And it keeps you consistently doing a little bit of something positive for your body every single day, which goes a long way to creating a habit or a ritual.
Which is another win that I'm going to talk about in a minute. So then Wednesday, we do another high-intensity day, same as Monday, just different muscle groups, different movements. Then Thursday is another low-intensity mobility recovery day. Friday, another high-intensity day. And then Saturday and Sunday are considered low-intensity days, and that's where we just do some steady-state cardio, which is basically just brisk walking. But we have a program that gradually increases the intensity of that over the 4 weeks, so it gets you to a state where, you can start running safely at the end of it. And so the idea of that is that when you do that for 4 weeks, you are going to see a significant fat loss. You're going to see a significant increase in strength, flexibility, and fitness. And as Yanni alluded to there, you're going to get a massive big win, which is momentum. It's going to kickstart this healthy habit that is done in a sustainable way. It's not when we talk about the radical lifestyle intervention, it's radical in the sense that it's 7 days a week, but it is absolutely sustainable.
Nutrition, recovery, exercise.
Yeah, I didn't even talk about that. We give a full nutrition program in this as well. So this is a phenomenal program to get you started. It really is. And it's a very low commitment because you're only committing to 28 days.
That's the point. And it's not, remember, we want to make this absolutely clear. It's not powerful because of the intensity of the exercise you're going to do. The exercise is actually designed to be at a semi-beginner level. Of course, you can always increase the difficulty by lifting more weight, but it's not so much about that. It's not about lifting ridiculous amounts of weight in each workout. This is about turning up, doing the work every day, turning up, doing the work with your nutrition, planning things, getting things organized. We're actually going to be harnessing a lot. The nutrition program is very comprehensive, and it's harnessing a lot of science around modern dieting, around time-restricted eating, around circadian health and circadian rhythm, how your body and nature really work together to metabolize more fat. We're going to be manipulating macronutrients to really amplify the ability to burn fat at an earlier state. We're going to be working extremely hard on making you more metabolically flexible by having days where we're eating low carbohydrate, days where we're eating low fat. And we're going to be prioritizing dietary protein so that you're eating in a way that is supporting the amount of exercise that you're doing and making sure of that. We're going to be having 2 caloric restricted days, so we learn to untether ourselves from food and we push the body into a state of temporary fasting to sort of upregulate lots of different pathways, cellular healing pathways like the autophagy pathway, and it's an incredible intervention. It's a very holistic intervention. It's a very, very good intervention, very well planned out. There's a lot of research that's gone into it, and modern research, not stuff that we've been quoting for 25 years that sort of has little relevance anymore. You know?
And if you've gotten through this free training, this is the next step. Get on board. Jump on board to the 28-day Kickstart program.
We forgot to tell you that there's a private coaching group just for this program that we're going to be in every day, supporting you every step of the way.
Answering questions, motivating you, and
giving you motivation.
Doing weekly coaching calls to make sure that you're on track and you get all your questions answered, and you've got to and fro feedback. So it's not
a
just phenomenal program.
Get the program and then you're on your own.
Yeah.
You're going to be
coached by
every
us
step of the way,
right through it.
Yeah.
So if you've gotten through this free training, jump on board, and we'll see you in the 28-day Kickstart.
Absolutely. Take care.
And for everyone else who's watching live, drum roll please, as it is Black Friday and Cyber Monday weekend, we have a very special offer where we're going to be launching this at, as we always do, at a great price. And we are... we also have a site-wide 50% discount for all our programs. So if you've been sitting on the fence wanting to get any of our phenomenal flexibility programs like the 18-minute stretching routine or the flexibility masterclass, or if you've been looking at the injury rehab programs, if you've been looking at any of our calisthenics programs like the muscle up masterclass, handstand masterclass, the pull-up masterclass, whatever it is, it's all 50% off for the next 4 days for this Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend. But the big one is the launch of the 28-day Kickstart program.
Yep.
If you're listening live, it's the end of November. We've got exactly, like this would take you right up till Christmas. This is the perfect time to do this. Hit the ground running. If you want to make a big impact on 2022, start now.
Yep.
The people that have the greatest success in 2022, well, in a new year with New Year's resolutions, are the people that start at the start of December. That's no joke. We've seen it time and time again.
Yep.
It's a great ambition to be telling yourself, I'm just going to write off December and then get started in the new year. But, that's hard to follow through with. If you get started now, you're going to have a phenomenal success in 2022.
Yep.
So get on board and we'll see you in the 28-day Kickstart program.
Absolutely.